guys are finally here.
The Earth looks beautiful from here. Isn't it?
Yes. And with that perfect view, let's start our show from the moon.
Welcome to our show.
We are the Happy Hippies.
You must be thinking, what are we going to show you here?
You will watch us talking to you, and then you will see what we do here, why we are doing this, and you will see the change happening.
Yes, the changes on Earth which made us make this show from the moon.
Changes can be good too. Like this show.
Yes, this show is about change, guys. And about those who are bringing the change.
You can be here too. Join us.
You would see the change makers coming here. What you will see are their stories, our interactions with them, and this is our work here. Let's start now. Flashback.
Hello, people.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the first episode of our show, Happy Hippie.
Let's start with an agenda.
Sure, teacher.
We are going to talk about Earth, what's happening here, and what to do.
I know. Let's build a rocket and settle upon the moon.
Yes, let's do that.
Stop it, guys.
In order to save our planet, we have to start moving to the moon by 2024.
And that's how we landed here, on the moon.
You saw I said the right thing in 2022. Stop it, guys. If we would have listened, we wouldn't have built those rockets and now be sitting here on the moon.
No one believed it then.
Yes. Of course. Who would? Would you believe you have to leave Earth to go to the moon by 2024? I'm talking to you 2022 guys. We can see you, and you can see us too. Yes. You were right, here we are on the moon.
So it's us in 2022, who are starting this chat show.
Chat show, yes, it's a chat show, and it's with a cause. To be on the moon by 2024. We would guide you all, bring you help, get you the needed technology, resources, to get here, where we are.
Hi, welcome to the Happy Hippies Show.
Thank you.
Hi, so actually I'll just give you a little bit of information about the concept of the show. So we are happy. So I have like this one question that when we look back in the past, the traditional method, there were a lot of gurukuls in India, right, where students used to live with the teachers and they were taught the basic life skills, a lot of practical skills. But as the time went by, the British education system was adopted in India, and now and which is still being used. And the students are not really taught anything practical now. It is just to mug up a lot of things and give exams. So, like, what do you think? What do you think the teachers or the government should be blamed for it, or as a society, what should be done to prevent this? That where the students are not really ready for the modern world.
Education system is more focused on literature and remembering things, right? Not practicing things. That's where I think, but there's been a lot of improvement in the last couple of years. You compare 2010 versus 20 versus what we're in 2023, right? There's been a lot of improvement. There are a lot of co-curricular activities in school. Students are taught how to build businesses. There are mock stock market programs in school. There are mock United Nations programs in school, right? That's where a lot of that's where the learning lies, and that's where a lot of students get groomed up for the real world. And but still, having said that, there's a long way to go, and still a lot of effort being made to sort of increase the exposure of these students at the school level and college level, whether it's societies, programs, events, festivals, etc., etc. I think they all add up to just exposure being given to students early on, so that they're ready for the world ahead.
Nowadays, you must have heard this a lot, that there is this one fact which a lot of students see and practice this, that there is this that degrees are not very important now. People are generally like, many companies hire students on the basis of their skills. So that is why there are a lot of students who drop out of their colleges and have various certifications. They take various certifications from the internet. So is that obviously enhances their skill set. But dropping out is what do you think, like, is dropping out a good?
It has to be taken on a case to case basis, right? There are students who have better opportunities at hand, right? It's an opportunity cost. Either you complete 3 years or 4 years of education, or you have a golden opportunity that you can sort of kickstart and immediately scale up and make it big. So it's always a contextual decision that you have to take at that point in time. But having said that, of course, the basic layer of education is very important. It acts as a safety net if things don't work out and if things move south in life. And as I always mention across my other panel discussions, I completed my degree because of my parents, right? I was always into business, tasted money early on, was owning my own small business of cloud kitchens, in the first, second, third year of college. So for me, education didn't mean anything. It ended up, of course, it worked out well, and I completed my degree and I got my degree eventually. But while I was doing it, I had more exciting things to work on. But having said that, I think retrospectively, having a degree in hand is better than not having one.
So there are a lot of things, like nowadays education is being discussed a lot, and there are a lot of challenges which the Indian education system faces. So what do you think, like, what is the biggest challenge in the education system according to you, and how, can we address it so that the future of the students is much secure?
I think basic things, right? People are not taught the right things early on. People are always taught what happens in science, what happens in history, what happens in social science, what happens in all of these subjects, right? Kids are never taught that if you face challenges, you have to show up every day. People are never taught that you have to meet new people every day. How do you talk to newer people every day? People end up learning these soft skills 10 years after they graduate from school, 5 years after they graduate from college, when they're in the real world, right? From meeting new people, how to manage money, how to talk about how to face challenges every day and stand up and show up every day. So basic life problems, basic uh, basic soft skills of living life are not taught. They're always taught what happened 200 years ago on this planet, what what is plastic made of, what is glass made of, but nobody's actually taught how do you actually manage money going forward, how do you manage a family going forward, how do you show up every day and rise against all problems, standing up every day going forward, and all of the basic stuff. How do you talk to new people, right? In the real world, you're supposed to meet all sorts of good, bad, ugly people every day, right? How do you deal with people? How do you deal with pressure? These are the skills that people aren't taught early on.
In your experience, I would ask you, what is that one innovation or one idea that would work with the students, one thing that the schools could implement so that the students are, more focused in their studies, and they also learn more soft skills, as you said. So that so what do you think is one thing which has to be like there in the education system, which is not very much given importance right now?
I feel the entire education system is around books and literature and pretext, right? It has to be more around practical examples. Just giving my very small example of how I sort of sit down with my team and have a chat around the growth of the companies, having a very practical approach that this is where we are, this is where we're supposed to reach, this is the vision ahead, and backward calculating steps, having a more practical approach and giving more practical sort of use cases and explaining concepts. You get my
Right.
point that
So
people are more literature oriented and they're more less practical, practice oriented. So I think it has to be uh, more case studies, more real life examples, more practical knowledge. I think that's the way to go, and I think we've come a long way. There's been a lot of evolution, a lot of development, and I think we're in the right direction.
What according to you would be like major changes which can be implemented, and what the next 100 years of education should look like?
I feel next 100 years look very exciting in terms of the rate of growth has been fairly fast as compared to the last few 100 years, and we're seeing a lot of development in the way people are looking at education, in the way people are looking at learning, in the way people are looking at grooming the younger generations coming up, and pretty excited to see India as well as global developments on how people look at education. Right, I think there's been a steep steep difference in the way education was, say, 10-15 years ago, and what's happening right now. Things have been digitized. People are now focused more on content-based learning. People are now focused on experiential learning. On-the-job learning, on-the-job training is a newer path of education.
That was awesome.
And there is more to come.
We'll see you in the next episode.